And we're live. Good evening. How are you all? Hope we're all well. So, tonight, Wellington to New Zealand. Wellington to Auckland in New Zealand. Can't even talk. So, for the purposes of us being able to see, I've adjusted the time a little bit, so we're a little bit ahead of local time, just because it'd be pitch black at the moment. So, according to the game, it is 8:09 in the morning. It's a bit of a miserable start, as you can see. So, what the plan is, we're going to taxi off in a minute, sort of head down to wherever those invisible lights are going. I think there should be a plane attached to those lights. Anyway, we're going to head down to this taxiway, come around to the end, runway 34 I believe, and take off heading north. Let's go check things out in here a minute. Yeah, we'll take off to the north, bank to the right, another bank to the left. Then, as you'll see, it's more or less a straight line all the way to Auckland until we do a left bank to bring us in on final. So I've got cruise set to 37,000 feet. If we go back, where are we? Here we are. You'll notice there's a constraint on our flight speed. Basically, I guess until we clear the main area of Wellington, 180 knots. So we'll try and keep to that. Other than that, it should be a fairly straightforward flight. It's looking pretty miserable out there, eh? Pretty miserable indeed. Let's get ourselves taxiing down there. It shouldn't be a very long flight. Not really, probably about an hour and 5, hour and 10. Wheels up to wheels down. Won't take long. Now then, can I find my way down to the runway in this rain? Weather is nasty. Not entirely sure what it's going to do when we get to Wellington, now I think about it. Not Wellington, Auckland. Just from the point of view of crosswinds. Maybe should have thought that through before I get all the way up there and realise I embarrassed myself. Not being able to do a crosswind landing when it's required. It's fair warning, I'm still very much in learning mode with those. Yeah, to see what the actual pilots do with those crosswinds is it's quite remarkable, really. Right, this is us. Get ourselves out and lined up. What a day for it. okay for fuel? Yeah, it's fine. That windsock is blowing there, hey? Right, I think we're all good. Let's bring our radar in a bit. Okay, let's see how this goes. Centre line with the rudder pedals. You can definitely feel it's being pushed around a bit. Not by much. Okay, rotate. Oh yeah, you can feel that wind for sure. Full thrust indeed. So I'm going to engage the autopilot. Seeing as we've got our heading set to managed, there we go. Plane's now taking care of business. Thank you, plane. Man, visibility is rubbish, huh? Oh, bless you. No, you can't donate, unfortunately. I'm not monetized. I've not been doing it long enough. I don't have enough subs. I don't have enough watch hours. So I actually did look into this the other night because somebody mentioned it. You need 1,000 subscribers and you need 4,000 publicly watched hours of content. So I'm almost halfway on the subs, and I think I'm at about 400 or 500 hours of watch time. Oh, look at that view. That's why we play Flight Sim, look at that. Yeah, the goal is to get there by the end of the year. I really do appreciate the thought. Thank you, genuinely. Subscribing's more than enough. Thank you very much indeed. That is such a cool view. Where do I fly? As in, where are we flying now? We're doing Wellington to Auckland today. But generally, all over. I just enjoy playing the game, to be perfectly honest, and anywhere's fine by me. I'd like to do some long haul stuff. Look at those clouds. They did such a good job with this. Sorry. Yeah, I'd like to do some long haul stuff when time allows. Probably. I'm trying to think how I'd actually feasibly do it, because despite having like great intentions, I'm not really likely to sit here for like 11 or 12 hours doing a stream. So I'm thinking maybe I'll do the takeoff up to cruise. Obviously I'll hang around if chat's active, people are nattering away, that's fine, I'll join in. And then for the cruise, if it's like a 7, 8, 9, 10 hour cruise, I think I'd probably just switch to like a window view like this maybe. Chuck on a bit of lo-fi. And then reappear for the descent, I think. Perhaps drop in between. Don't know, need to give it some thought. I think that's probably the most feasible way I can do it. As much as I would love to play Flight Sim all day, that might be pushing it a bit far. We're looking at the other side. This is definitely reminding me of like most flights I've taken from the UK, where you take off and it's like miserable and dull and rainy, cloudy, grey, and then you punch through that layer of cloud and then you get this. It's very cool. What is our ascent rate? That seems a bit steep. So that speed should be coming up now. Lo-fi. Plane seems awfully slow to build up its speed. It's like it's prioritising the ascent. You think it would be capable of doing both? If I put it into managed. Yeah. That's the trick, put it into managed, I think. Definitely did not forget to put the gear up. Whoops. I sworn I pressed the button on my joystick to do that. Honest. Maybe the button's getting sticky. I shall investigate that after the stream. So now might be a pretty good time actually to start planning our descent. Yeah, I've got a big wind going on up here, look at that. Look at the way the plane's having to crab to keep on that flight path. .032 that needs to be. Right, when do we need to start descending? So where are we now? Our next waypoint. We will be there in 65 miles at 2036. Where is it? What time are we at now? 2028. We're going to be there at 2054. Wow, that's really not long. So we need to be at 3,000 feet by 2052, which is, how many minutes is that away? Can't be right, can it? It's a short flight. Okay, right, do some maths. So we're going to need to drop 34,000 feet. At 2,000 feet per minute. That will take us 17 minutes. Blimey, that only puts us like 4 minutes out. Is that right? So we have to start descending in like 4 or 5 minutes. Haven't even hit cruise yet. That's fine. It's literally like straight up and straight down. Okay. Thank you to everyone, by the way, who's hit the like button. I see you, and I appreciate you. It's like the one big way you can help the stream. You gotta feed that YouTube algorithm. Gotta give it the likes. Gotta give it the click-throughs. If you're new around here, we try and do these streams 2 or 3 times a week. Potentially thinking about some long haul stuff. I did a poll a few streams ago, and I think it was over 70%. I think we must have had a good 100 votes nearly. Said they'd be up for some long haul stuff, which is cool. I guess some people like it on during the workday, with some background. I can get behind that. Especially like if you're working from home or, you know, that sort of thing. Makes a lot of sense. Right, we're going to have to start thinking about descending, aren't we? 17 minutes. Yeah. Crikey. literally just hit cruise and we've got to come back down. It must be at 3,000 feet. We'll do a descent rate of 2,000 feet per minute. You can see that wind flexing the wing as well, can't you? It's a windy old day out there. Isn't there a mountain around here? Like just coming up out of our window. I'm sure there is. Unless my geography's about to fail me, which, you know, it might. Alright, let's have a quick check in on the cockpit, see what's going on. New Zealand is pretty, isn't it? I know it's only a game, but pretty good representation, I think. Okay, so we are at 22,000 feet. Slow our descent a little bit. As we need to be at 3,000 feet for 2054, and it is now. It gives us 15 minutes to do 17,000 feet. 1,100 feet a minute will get us there, roughly. Do some cockpit views for a little bit. Pipe up in the chat if you fancy a different view. More than happy to accommodate. Look at that, we're up to 3 likes. Thank you all for being here anyway, it really does mean the world. I'm still slightly perplexed that people show up to watch this. I mean, I love it, I'm a plane nerd, but then like, I wasn't quite sure if there would be enough of an audience out there that would also be interested in the same way. It seems that there are, which is really cool. I mean, make no mistake, my numbers are small fry for YouTube. I still find it quite remarkable. So thank you, all of you. I really do appreciate it. Just checking in on progress. We should be fine. Should be absolutely fine. So I've got the plane in manage mode for speed. So it's deciding that's how fast it wants to go. So that's good for me. When we get to 10,000, in about 5 minutes time, just under, should see that speed drop to 250. Simple reason that under 10,000 feet, that's kind of the speed limit. Right, I'll check in 3 or 4 minutes. See where we're at. So like out the other side. There we go. Right, we'll check in a couple of minutes. Okay, we're not doing bad. Another couple of minutes, we'll be at 10,000. Also need to think about our speed. So that's the waypoint where it wants us at 3,000. It also wants us at 210 knots. So we'll have to factor that in as well. So looking at our direction on the mini-map, for those that have got a big enough screen that they can see it in any detail whatsoever, looking at that wind direction, it's more or less going to be giving us a headwind as we come into land, which is much better than a crosswind, because still kind of practicing those, and every time I get one on stream, it's always a bit of a worry. Nothing like getting a crosswind and messing it up in front of a bunch of people watching. Let's see, you can see that the plane's bringing itself down to 250 knots because it knows it's approaching 10,000. All good. Right, let's taking getting some views while it does that. Right, really not far now. Not far at all. Just to see where we are. We're 3 miles away from this waypoint. Osaku. Not far at all. To zoom us out a little bit, you can get a sense of where we're going to go. Around here, 210 knots, 3,000 feet by then. Remaining at 3,000. Come around, catch the ILS, and in we go. Wind is changing direction on us a little bit, I fancy. Maybe not. Maybe it's us that's changed direction. Constantly living in fear of getting a crosswind I can't handle live on stream. And I don't want to be that streamer that changes the weather to like completely calm at the last minute just to get out of it. I've managed a couple. Albeit most of them were off stream. But yeah, managed a couple. They're not the best thing you'll ever see. I've got a long way to go on them, but it's all a process. Every time, get a little bit better. Yeah, the aim of this channel is not to be here and try and impress my brilliance on you. It's very, very open to the fact that this is all a learning journey. Which I think is most of the appeal. Every landing Every situation's different, every landing you can take something away from it, make the next one better. That's cool to be able to share that with you all. So where is that airport? That airport should be... more or less straight ahead of us, I think. Is that it over there? I think the level of detail starts to drop away quite quickly when you zoom in. Let's get that speed under control, because it really isn't going to be long. Needs to be at 210 knots. At least. Probably going to need some speed brakes to get us there, maybe? It does seem to be dropping on its own, actually. We'll see how we go. Oops, sorry. We'll see how we go. Because we've got... speed brakes. And when our speed gets beneath that little yellow line, almost like that little equal sign, that means we are safe to bring out flaps. The first stage of flaps at least. Which is right there. That will help with the speed even more. I would say that was timed pretty damn well, if I may say so myself. Just as we cross the waypoint. That's cool. I like that. I like it when a plan works. Alright, I need to start paying attention. Start dropping some of that speed away. Speed down to 180. Altimeter set 30.24. Long feet, how you doing? Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Appreciate all of you. Every last one of you. So, when we get around... where are we? Get around this turn. We get on to final. Get the speed brakes away now. We really want to be at about 140 knots. You're doing very well. Good to hear it. Good to hear it. So there's our airport over there. 140 knots. There or thereabouts. As a rule of thumb. And with a descent rate of 8-ish hundred feet per minute. That will bring us in perfectly for a 3-degree glide slope. I'll hit this LS button in a moment for landing system, I believe. If I hit it now, can see we've got some diamonds. So it says the glide slope is actually beneath us. Oops. Let's drop down a little bit more, shall we?
2,500.
There we go. So as I start to descend, we turn, these diamonds will come into line.
2,500.
Perfect. So you'll notice this diamond start to move as we come in line with the runway. There it goes. So if I hit the approach button now, if I've got it all configured correctly, which I believe I do,
2,500.
doesn't seem to want to do very much. We'll do it ourselves.
2,500.
So
2,500.
yes, thank you. 2,500. I hear you. Let's crank these displays up a little bit. Go. So you can see the diamond on the horizontal axis is moving over to the left. That's because we've got a crosswind blowing us to the right. So it's trying to tell us that we need to be to the left. You follow the diamonds. Yes, that's looking much better. 140 knots. Looking pretty good and lined up. We do have a crosswind, a proper little crosswind going on. Only 10 knots, but it's more than enough for a wally like me, I can assure you. So we'll just try and keep those diamonds lined up with those yellow lines. Okay, gear down. Feel that wind. Luckily it does seem to be dipping out a little bit. It's getting weaker, so you can see that we're actually going a little bit too far left. So you've got to keep an eye on that wind strength because it can change on you. Okay, gear is down, that's good.
500. 400.
Don't mess it up. There's people watching you. They'll leave angry comments if you do.
300.
A little bit on the high side there of the pappies. Not by much. As the ILS will tell us.
200.
They get less and less accurate at this point. So 50 feet, we're going to idle the throttles.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
Ooh. That got a bit windy there, not going to lie. I don't know what I felt there at the last minute, but something blew us around. Ooh. It's a bit hairy there. I would give that out of 10. I don't know. That's not one for the Hall of Fame, that's for sure. I had to use my rudder pedals there last minute to bring us around, and I didn't quite give it enough aileron to counteract the force that the rudder pedals put on the plane, which sort of dip one wing down. I think that was my mistake there. It's all a learning journey. It's all a learning journey. Right. Not entirely happy with that flight plan that SimBrief generated for me either. Given that it wanted us at 3,000 feet and then immediately we were quite high above the glide slope for this airport. So it's to kind of correct that. Not sure I ever really felt ahead of the aircraft during that approach, which is generally where you want to be. I almost felt like I was trying to catch up with the aircraft. Get that height sorted out. That sort of thing. Get your speed down. Get it all done quick. Just felt a little bit rushed. So normally at this point I would kind of say when the next stream is going to be, but the honest answer is I don't know when it is going to be. Hi bus, you going to get out of my way? Possibly at the weekend, maybe a Sunday. Back end of next week I should have more time. This week's been a bit weird. Things happened that I didn't expect to happen. Yes, Sunday, but maybe back into next week we can start thinking about some long haul stuff. I would like to try the A330 mod. I forget who made it. Is it Headwind? Is it the Headwind one? My understanding is they took this plane, which is the fly-by-wire A320neo, and they kind of modelled an A330, but you know, most of the flight deck is based off of what we're flying here. But an A330 could be cool for some long haul stuff. You could do like London to New York easily in one of those. Maybe London, Dubai? Yeah. Don't know. I need to get it installed. I need to give it a quick test out and see how we go with that. Yeah, that could be back end of next week. Sunday, not sure what we'll do Sunday. Leave a comment. Happy to take requests. Generally try and keep it a sensible length stream, maybe something like 2-3 hours. This one was a bit shorter than... I knew it was going to be a short flight, but I wasn't quite ready for quite how short it was going to be. In all honesty, I kind of wish I'd chosen something a bit longer because I've basically got a bit more time tonight. But that's all good. Live and learn. So we'll tentatively say Sunday will be the next stream. Hope you can all make it. Hope you liked it. If you did like the stream, leave us a like, leave us a sub. That really means the world. Trying to get to 500 subs, that's the goal at the moment. We're not too far off. Then I think I get the community tab, so I can kind of talk to you all, leave messages, polls, that kind of thing. Hello, David. We're just finishing up. Just thinking about where the next stream's going to be. So yeah, leave us a comment. Let us know. And the ultimate goal beyond 500 subs is to get to 1,000. Because once you get to 1,000 subs, things take a bit of a turn here on YouTube. You can 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours. Then you can turn on monetization, which I don't honestly know what that would look like. It feels like it might be the kind of thing that you turn it on and then you get like 2 pence, or see, you know, like a really small amount. You're like, oh, I don't know. Could be cool in any case. And with that, thank you all for watching. It really does mean the world. I hope you all know that. My favourite part of the week, doing these streams. So appreciate you all being here, and Make sure you've hit the sub button if you haven't already. Hit the bell, then you'll get hopefully notified when we go live next, which will hopefully be Sunday. So I'll leave it there. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Thanks very much.